99% of people have no idea what's about to happen with AI. Most people think that they're ahead of the curve because they switched to Claude Code or they tried some new AI tool that their cousin told them about. That's like upgrading from a flip phone to an iPhone 4 in 2026. What is coming with AI is bigger than the internet. It's bigger than smartphones. It's bigger than Bitcoin. And the gap between the people who see it and the people who don't is growing every single day. Like, I just can't unsee it. But this video isn't about the future of technology. This video is about the future of your business. It's the future of your wealth. I run a $100 million portfolio of companies, and I intentionally chose the game to play. And I don't play the game in Silicon Valley. I actually play it on Main Street. My portfolio of companies includes boring, unsexy restoration companies, and I also own a software company that powers them, which is Alphabet. And I can tell you right now, the next wave of millionaires is not being made by the tech startups. It's being made by the operators who are taking boring 3x multiple service businesses and turning them into 20x multiple tech companies using AI. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 levels of AI operators that I see every single day, and I'm going to show you exactly where 99% of your competitors are stuck. And then I'm going to give you the exact 5-step playbook that I'm using to build tech-enabled enterprise so you can completely separate yourself from the pack. And it's going to be hard to actually fully implement all of this, but if you master this, you will create massive enterprise value. Let's dive in. So let's start out by imagining a triangle, a standard pyramid. This is level 1. At level 1, you're ahead of the pack, right? Because most people are still stuck on a pen and paper in the trades. So let's just call you an AI technician. And you're at the bottom of the pyramid doing all the heavy lifting. And AI is like a tool sitting at the top, like a hammer. And most people figure out that ChatGPT isn't the only tool. They're trying Claude, they're trying Gemini. And that's a good first step, right? At this level, AI is really the smart assistant sitting next to you. You can have it do research, write emails, or design things in minutes instead of hours. It's awesome. If you're, a landscaper, you can take a picture of the front of the house and have it, put together a planting plan. If you're a contractor, you have all the codes that you need at the tip of your fingertips. But you still have to do the work. You might be faster, but you're still the one doing it, right? If you don't prompt it, nothing happens. If you're a business owner and you're using AI to write better marketing copy, you're in the kiddie pool. You're at level 1, which is still great. I don't want to downplay this because you're ahead of 50% of your competitors that are probably still stuck on pen and paper or trying to, implement Java within their business. But now let's flip that pyramid upside down. And this is level 2. At level 2, you become the manager. You're at the top of the inverted pyramid, and then below, you have 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 specific agents. And let's call them digital AI gremlins. At level 2, you're not doing the work entirely. You start giving AI the goal, it plans the steps, and it executes the steps, and then it reports back to you. So like a real world example from my own portfolio, in the restoration industry, collecting money from insurance companies is an absolute nightmare. It requires constant follow-up, reading complex documents, and arguing over line items, and we all know insurance companies fucking hate to pay. At level 1, an employee would go to ChatGPT, be like, hey, write an email to this adjuster to tell him to fuck off, right? At level 2, I actually built a digital gremlin using Claude Code, took all of our project data, dumped it into it, and now the gremlin is trained to read the file, identify payments, draft email follow-ups, send the emails in some cases, and update the CRM. And then myself and the AR teams, not necessarily doing the work, we're managing the gremlin and giving the gremlin feedback, and the gremlin's doing the work. In level 1, you have many touch points with AI. In level 2, you have very few. You assign the task, you check the output, and then you repeat. You have gone from doing the work to managing the workers, and those workers are digital workers. And honestly, if you just took your business to level 2, you would literally be in the top decile, and you would dominate your local market. You would have massive unfair advantage over the guy down the street who's just finally starting to implement Jobber. But there's another level, and this level takes you from having an advantage over your competitors to having an advantage over absolutely everyone. Now for level 3, I want you to imagine a diamond. 2 triangles stacked base to base. And this is level 3. At level 3, you are the architect. You are at the very top of the diamond. And below you is one master AI, a central nervous system. And below that master AI are dozens of specialized sub-agents. At level 3, you don't manage the gremlin anymore. You just set the direction. You look at your dashboard and you say, we need to increase our gross margin by 2% this quarter. The master AI looks at your entire business and analyzes your estimating gremlin, your collections gremlin, your marketing gremlin, and it realizes that your estimating gremlin is underpricing water damage job. And it automatically updates the pricing model, deploys new instructions to the estimating gremlin, and reports back to you that the problem is resolved. It's kind of like how coders are currently vibe coding in engineering, and it's like vibe coding your own business. You set the direction, and then the AI is starting to decide on how to do it. If you try to explain this to your competitors, they will think you're crazy. They'll say that's 5 years away. It's not 5 years away. It's happening right now. The operators who are building level 3 systems today are realizing that they can do 10 times more volume with 10 times fewer people. It's absolutely bananas. So how do you actually build this? How do you actually take your business and turn it into a level 3 tech-enabled enterprise? Well, first and foremost, I'd probably invest in some sort of nerd, especially if you're like me, an operator that doesn't understand tech. So you can find yourself an engineer that is passionate about AI to start working with you in tandem on these projects. You can find somebody super cheap if you're low on budget, offshore for maybe, $10 to $20 an hour. Or, like what we've done at one of our companies is, it costs you a couple $100,000 a year to have a full-time, like US-based, really knowledgeable and passionate person. But I think like that's the first key is having somebody, and depending on the scale of your enterprise, you might either do it yourself, go offshore, or find somebody to actually own this. But here's the 5-step exact playbook that you will follow whether you use somebody offshore or not. Step 1, you want to find the bleeding neck. Don't try to automate your entire company on day 1. That's how you fail. You need to find the one manual process that's costing you the most money and causing the most pain. In a service business, it might be collections, it might be estimating, lead follow-up. Just pick one, just one. Then step 2 is establish a source of truth. You can't use AI if your data is sitting in filing cabinets or scattered across 10 different Excel spreadsheets. AI needs the data to breathe. So you need to implement a vertically integrated software solution for your industry that has an open API. What I mean by that is it's got to be a tool that touches everything from the start to the finish of the life cycle of your company, and it has to have an open API, which means it could talk to other tools. If you're in restoration, that's Albi. It's your only option. If you're in plumbing, you have some more options like Service Titan, House Call Pro, Jobber. Get your data into one central nervous system. And then you go into step 3, which is building your first gremlin. Now that you have your data organized, you build your first specific AI agent to solve the one bleeding neck that you've identified in step 1. You don't need to be a software engineer. You could use tools like Claude Code to build a proof of concept gremlin, and then you could do that over a weekend and then find somebody offshore to go deploy it. Or again, you can get fancier and hire a person to work full time. Step number 4, you want to instrument the dashboard. You need to know if the gremlin's actually making you money. So what you do is you connect everything that you're doing to a CEO dashboard tool like Domo or Google Data Sheet Studio, and you should be able to open up your phone and see exactly all the metrics that are important to your company. And then you should start seeing the specific metrics that the AI agent collected or saved you in the specific day. And now we go to step 5, which is the valuation arbitrage. This is where wealth is created. Once you have a system of gremlins running your operations, you are no longer a traditional services company. A traditional plumbing or restoration company trades at maybe 3 to 5 times multiple of EBITDA or earnings. Why? Because it's highly dependent on human labor, it's hard to scale, it's chaotic, and that's what the markets pay for it. But a tech-enabled service business, a business that runs on a level 2 or level 3 AI systems, is predictable, highly scalable, and incredibly profitable. Private equity companies will be hunting for these businesses, and they will pay 15 to 20 times multiples for those businesses that have solved the labor bottleneck with technology. It's going to be bananas. And the reason I know that is I'm seeing private equity shift away from software and start looking at these boring businesses on Main Street. And what you're doing with AI is you're making all the pitfalls of a traditional Main Street business go away, and you're transforming that business to look more like a tech company or a software company. You're literally building, or if you want to be more advanced, buying a business that's worth 3x multiple, call it, implementing this 5-step playbook, and then turning it into a 20x asset. And that is what I call a valuation arbitrage. That's how you build generational wealth on Main Street. The future of business is not about who works the hardest. It's about who has the most leverage. And the question is, which side of the divide do you want to be on? Do you want to be a level 1 technician playing with ChatGPT like it's a toy while your margins get squeezed? Or do you want to be a level 3 architect building a tech-enabled enterprise that prints cash while you sleep? And look, the shift is literally happening right now. It's not hypothetical. It's not a maybe. If you want to follow along, look up Longview Restoration. I'm literally building the first AI-powered restoration company within this industry. And if you want more value, comment below architect. I put together all the diagrams from this video into a PDF that you could download very easily, and I'll give it to you for free. Stop playing the small game and start building the machine. I'll see you next week with another video.